I would do.
What do you think? Should I keep my glasses on or off? For this episode?
Off.
Off, yeah. Let's do it.
Because the glare. You know?
Exactly.
So today is about politics.
Brian's favorite topic. Hence.
It used to be. Until it got toxic.
Okay.
So.
Explain. Okay, let's get into this.
All right. Well, ever since the 2016 election, politics is like, I don't really talk about it anymore. I don't really consume a lot of news about it. It was the end of it for me.
Why is that?
It was like two candidates that nobody liked. You know, nobody wanted any of them, you know, and they were pretty bad. Us versus them mentality, you know, and it was just too much of that. If you would even say you were for somebody like Donald Trump, for example, or Hillary Clinton, people would get mad, you know, and it would spark this. It's not a healthy debate. It wouldn't spark a healthy debate. It would spark like this angry.
And that's why I think for this specific episode, it's like people are waiting to see what side we're on. So let me start off with what would be like a clickbait title or whatever, but like, I've never registered to vote a day in my life.
Really?
I'm 25 years old.
You haven't voted?
Never.
Wow.
I haven't voted in
That's
local.
crazy.
I haven't voted in state.
Yeah.
I haven't voted on the president.
Why is that?
Okay. Look at asking me questions right on time. No, but honestly, I don't know, man. Like, they say it's easy to register and everything, but I don't know, man. I'm one of those people, and I think this is where a little clean debate will start with us, but it's like, I don't really believe that the one ballot I put will change.
I don't think you know me very well because, to be honest, I don't participate. We have an election here in Chicago coming up for mayor.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not.
I thought that was over.
No, it was a runoff thing, and now there's the top two.
And what's the name, just so we can...
Lightfoot and...
That's his name, Lightfoot?
That's her name. It's two women.
What's her first name?
Big Bear, you know?
Her first name's Big Bear, her last name's Little.
I don't know what her first name is. I don't, because really? I'm not really paying attention. Because it doesn't matter... I mean, I guess there's like a better candidate, I guess, than the other. There always is usually.
Yeah.
You know, a lesser of two evils. But I feel like no matter which one gets in... I mean, Chicago has a really bad history of high taxes and a lot of stupid stuff. So
how do you feel about the whole... Okay, let me tell you what's going on.
And this is local politics. I'm more into federal politics, like national politics.
So
I don't care about... I mean, you know, I'll be the first person to, like, tell people... I'm, like, poking my mind.
It's just...
I know. I'll be... I was watching a Tony Robbins thing the other day, and he went like this on his chest.
Just so you can feel?
Yeah. It was, like, cracking. What was I saying?
About the federal and how you prefer...
Oh, yeah. I would be the first person to tell people that when it comes to elections, like, the local elections are more important, I think.
Okay.
Because it's
more
more approachable. It's like things that affect your life can actually be changed by your vote. I think that's true. But I'm a hypocrite because I don't really like local politics, and I don't usually participate in local elections.
Okay.
And I think, actually, I don't think. I know the reason why I don't.
Why is that?
Because unlike a lot of people out there, when I do vote, I take it incredibly seriously, and I actually research.
And you read. Okay.
And it is hard. I don't expect somebody, you know, working 9 to 5, come home all tired, to do research.
All they do is listen to the news and the
commercials
that they push.
To the news, they just watch the commercials. But here's the reason I don't get involved in local.
JB was a very those JB whatever.
The reason I don't get involved in local politics is because I found through experience that you actually can't find any information on those candidates. There's zero information on the web about who you're voting for. So if there's zero information about the candidates, other than maybe a little intro, you know, like a little summary of who they are, what they stand for. If you can't find information about a candidate, like, I would never vote for somebody that I have no information on. Like, you know how you have to vote for judges and stuff like that? Like, I don't know who these people are, you know?
Do you think they should try something new just because we are in 2019 and, like, the voting to get more people voting? Or do you think it would be rigged if we had, like, an online, like, hey, you have between 12 p.m. to 9 p.m.
I don't necessarily think it
and you
could only be rigged.
You could only vote with your social.
I don't think going in person is the problem.
Okay.
I don't think that's the problem. I don't think that's why people don't vote.
So it's 2019. You still want people to go out and
2019. Vote. I think the reason why people. Well, I mean, you could argue paper ballots will probably be more secure than a digital.
Do you?
Possibly. Like I don't.
I've heard so many stories.
Things of them tampering with the paper.
Yeah, they just take your vote.
I mean, they've done it for centuries
and
like
just throw it to the dump, and then it's like all those votes. Oh, we didn't count them.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like, oh, we're waiting for the vote count to come in. It's 10 o'clock.
I mean, it's rigged either way. Like they'll find some way.
Exactly.
To rig it.
So it's like. What?
So I mean, I agree with you.
But
make it more convenient for people.
Who are those people that
there's no
are?
problem with making it more convenient.
So let me ask you this: who are those people that when you say, oh, they're rigging it, or they're
Who's they?
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be anybody.
It's true.
I mean, a lot of people.
The candidates themselves?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, a lot of people are on this whole Russia thing, like that. Maybe for national politics.
They just throw it at somewhere where we have no proof.
I think the whole thing's rigged. I think it's whoever wants to win rigs it.
Yeah,
from all sides.
Yeah.
But that's the problem, and this is what I've been talking about for a long time. The information war that we're currently in.
Mm-hmm.
We're in how we're in the information age?
Yeah.
I call it the disinformation age. We've entered a new age, and it's an age where you don't know what to believe because there's so much access to information on the web.
So even though we are the most connected, we're at the same time we're most disconnected.
We have so much information, now we don't know what to do with the information.
Wow.
So, I mean, when it comes to like elections, it could take the 2016 election, for example, they were talking about Hillary was sick and, she was going to die or whatever. You remember she was like coming out of the car. She was like, well, I mean, that was on video. That was pretty real. But, there's a lot of stuff that you see that isn't true. A lot of it's been fabricated. They found a lot of... I mean, I do believe it. I don't know if the Russians, rigged the election or not. I have no idea. But I do know one thing for sure. The Democrats did rig the primary to get Hillary an official nomination. So they rigged that, and that was our own people, And then all of a sudden, the Russians they're complaining about the Russians rigging the election to get Donald Trump in. I don't know. But I do know one thing for sure. Because I did experience this back then.
This is BWB facts?
Yeah, I mean, there were bot accounts on social media. Social media was used as a weapon of disinformation.
So to fuel the fire. Yeah,
so, for example, on Twitter and stuff, there were a lot of, I guess that's what they call alt-right.
Okay.
Sort of
Is that where it started?
Accounts.
Is that where 2016 is that when that whole term alt-right started?
Yeah, but the thing is that there's a real alt-right movement. There's a real it's kind of like the libertarian movement, but then it went off into this thing. The news started calling it alt-right, and they're talking about people who are really offensive, like Milo Yiannopoulos or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
He's really on the fringe, right?
He's a gay male who
likes black guys. and he makes that very clear. Yeah.
And he's a Republican, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but he's libertarian in a way.
Oh, okay.
Right. These people aren't typically traditional Republicans. They're Republicans in the sense that they support Donald Trump. But Donald Trump isn't even a Republican.
So break it down.
Donald Trump was actually a Democrat years ago.
Yeah, dude. There's so much footage on this man. There's footage of him going on a late night show.
I mean, this guy has no affiliation with anybody but himself. It's not that I'm not interested in what's going on. It's that there's so much venom out there. There's so much hatred.
But this,
and I don't agree with the hatred part. I like Alex Jones.
Did you watch his interview with Joe Rogan?
I did. Yeah. It's always fun. So fun. It's always fun. Yeah. So fun. I watched those 4 hours. But I like Alex Jones. But let me explain why.
I listened to it at work, not watched it.
Alex Jones did something for me. I started listening to him back in 2014 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Before this whole Trump 2016 election thing. That's actually when I stopped listening to him. But what I like about him and why I appreciate him, even when people put him down, is that he actually expanded my mind. He taught me how to think critically, right? So even though the ideas are unpopular, he taught me that it's okay. right? The most important thing is freedom. You should question things, and you should be able to speak freely. And that was the most important thing he taught me. And so when people criticize him, I defend him on that basis because of what he did for me. Now, obviously, lizard people and stuff, I don't know, right? He's like, a lot of the stuff when he's talking on the show is like made up. Like he has no sources.
That's the thing about
the camera will pan on his like desk and he'll have all these papers like scattered, and it's like his source is like Drudge Report, which is basically, it's like having his own website as a source, like that's not like real.
Yeah.
Like, so,
or declassified as he calls it.
But he has talked about real
situation
conspiracies. Like there's real conspiracies, but at the same time there's a lot of nonsense. Now here's why I stopped listening to Alex Jones. I just want to clarify this.
Of course.
Alex Jones during the 2016 election brought a man named Roger Stone onto his show. And Roger Stone...
Infowars.com?
Yeah. And Roger Stone is a political hack. What he does is
What's the word hack?
He lies. He does anything necessary to get his candidate of choice into office.
Okay.
And that's what he did to get Donald Trump into office. A lot of those rumors about Hillary Clinton being sick and all this stuff, which she could have been sick. There's nothing wrong with being sick, right? She's older, right? She could have been sick. But a lot of the information that was put out there that was super anti-Hillary Clinton came from this man, Roger Stone. And a lot of the stuff, to be honest, can't be verified. We don't know this stuff. And what I'm trying to say is that Roger Stone's a bad person. And when Alex Jones had him on the show, it was just like, And I didn't know about Roger Stone before that, but I got to know about him.
And then you looked
and I was like,
into
wow. I was like, how can he have this guy on the show? Like,
So on my side, the way I see things is more of entertainment. Like when I would watch like the political, what are they called when they would go against each other, and there was people, and like that one big guy with the red sweater became a meme because he asked the question. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah.
Bone or something was.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That to me is entertainment. Like I watch that as entertainment,
but that's the thing. Politics is entertainment for most people.
Okay.
So when you have a man like Donald Trump who is really entertaining, who do you think's gonna win? He's gonna win every single time, unless you have somebody who's even more entertaining than him.
So let me ask you this: 2020, is he winning again?
Now that
we're like fourth, we're going into
it's
fourth
funny
year.
because a lot of people don't like him. Dude. But I've been saying for a long time to the people who can't stand him, I keep telling them, get ready for another 4 or 6 years.
4 to 6. What do you mean?
He's gonna win a re-election.
It's 2019. 5 years almost, no?
What? I think you're overthinking it. Like, that's why they gave 4 to 6 years.
Oh, okay, okay.
But, I'm not good at math. So I just give you ranges.
Just cover all your bases.
The reason why I think he could win again, 2020, that's the election.
I believe so.
The reason I think he can win again is because it's all about showmanship. And it doesn't matter how many of the things he's done. He has showmanship and he has confidence, and that comes across really well. And the Democrats still don't know who they are. Like, their platform, they're for...
Did you see that Bernie Sanders is coming back?
Yeah, they're for healthcare, they're for all of this good stuff. But here's one thing that ruins it, and I like Bernie Sanders a lot. But, he calls himself a democratic socialist.
What does that mean?
It just means that he wants to be like those countries like Sweden or whatever, who have like free health care and stuff like that.
Oh, like Canada?
He's not like a socialist, like Soviet Russia or whatever, but he's one of those people who thinks government has a place in society that can help people, like healthcare and stuff like that, or education, which is not harmful.
Or like a universal. Not universal, but like
basic
raising
income?
Raising the
minimum wage.
Yeah.
Like,
there was a Chinese guy who was talking about.
Yeah, Andrew Yang. Yeah. So there's stuff like that, but because he's a socialist, and there's videos of him saying he's a socialist, the American public, dude, for decades
go against it.
Yeah, anytime anything's like that, anything happens like that where they call themselves a socialist or communist, it's over. Like, you know.
So you don't think he's?
I think the general public. Remember, we're in Illinois, we're in Chicago, we're in this bubble, but the rest of the country
is not.
They're still very traditional. They're very conservative. They're very religious.
We're one city out of hundreds, and we're one state out of 50.
Yeah, Donald Trump appeals to a lot of average Americans, you know?
Which is what you find when you're not in the main cities like
and
LA.
It doesn't mean that his policies reflect the message that he tells people.
Okay.
But what matters is the message that's being told. Right? Not what you do when you're in office. Nobody remembers what you do in office until 5-6 years later when all the stuff comes out and you're like, crap, man, this person was terrible, you know?
Exactly.
One thing I have to remind people, George W. Bush
was your
one of the most hated presidents in modern American history.
Now is the most loved.
Was president for 8 years. He had 2 terms. And I remember 2004, nobody liked him.
I think what sealed his 2 terms was when that whole 9/11 thing, happened, and then he, like, the way he reacted, the way he took order as the chief commander, like, people are like, oh, we all got to stand together. It just happens that this man is here,
Yeah, let's finish what we started, basically, that kind of thing. But he was awful. I mean, that whole 9/11 thing was just...
Dude, I was 2nd grade.
Awful.
I wouldn't even...
It was awful. Yeah. The handling of the situation wasn't great. But anyway, my point is that if someone like George W. Bush can be president for 8 years, a man like Donald Trump definitely can. Because people say that Donald Trump is stupid. He's not stupid. And I know there's a lot of people who get triggered. They're gonna be in the comments probably like, he's stupid, whatever.
But that's
you can't be stupid and get elected like he did, right? This just came. I just became aware of this, and a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, you didn't know this? It's so obvious, right?
Don't you hate those people? Like,
I do.
People who are into politics
Let me tell you something. Donald Trump doesn't know how to read or write.
How do you know this?
There's videos of him actually trying to read, and he can't. Like, he can't read.
Too much money?
What?
Too much money?
What do you mean? Like, he has
too much money to read.
Well, he has so much money, he doesn't have to read. The problem is that the President of the United States has to sign a lot of documents.
Yeah.
These documents have a lot of writing in them. They're thick.
Yeah.
And those writings change the laws of the United States of America. So if you're not reading any of it, right?
You're just signing.
And you're just signing it, then we have a person who's not even in control. He's basically
a puppet.
Yeah, he's a puppet. He's fulfilling the agenda of somebody else, right? So that's why I think, people say he's dangerous, and he's done a lot of bad things, like keep pulling those kids away from families and the border. Come on, that's terrible. When I heard about that, I was like, okay, now this is really bad, right? Who does this, But when you have a man who doesn't even read the bills, how dangerous can he really be, right? I mean, he could be dangerous because he's fulfilling the orders of somebody else, right? Or, Republicans are ramming stuff through Congress that's, really bad for the American people, and he's probably signing it, has no idea,
Yeah.
He's an egomaniac. He just cares that he's president.
I just want people who are listening to this and what you said, triggering. We're just explaining our side of the story, and it's I know people who are heavy
people
Republican.
Need to calm down, man.
Yeah,
they need to chill.
Isn't that serious.
And by the way,
it isn't.
I know he sucks, and we might have him for 8 years.
Yeah,
that's just the reality. It's part of the Constitution.
Dude,
you can have a president for 8 years.
People didn't even believe when it was day of electing. They were like,
they thought the world was gonna end.
I know, and
we're still here. It's 2019, dude. We have self-lacing shoes. The world is fine. We will always make it out.
You're still working.
We're fine.
Yeah.
The president has nothing to do with your life.
With your day-to-day life.
Unless you're one of those immigrant families, or you're being directly affected. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of people put the blame on the president for why their life sucks.
That's the problem.
And that's not why their life sucks.
Because I know a lot of people who try to find an exit. So what do they say? Yo, there's people who literally watch CNN, at the night, or they watch the news. I don't watch the news. I don't watch CNN.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't watch any of this stuff. I keep my mind clear. Mm-hmm. And people are like, "Oh, well, you're not knowledgeable about politics. Why are you making?"
I have an answer to that.
Go ahead.
I read the news. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I have control over the content and the amount of consumption I'm taking, and I have control in the order in which I'm taking it. When you watch the news, dude, it's guns, death, Trump. Guns, death, Trump. Death, Trump. And they do it all over and over and over and over again. If you watch the news, trust me, the first story of the night is going to be a gun
tonight
wound or killing. Somebody got killed.
Especially that we.
And then the third story is always like Donald Trump. You know, it's always the same thing, and that's programming.
Yeah.
When you read the news on your phone, you can curate the news on the Apple News app. You can make the Apple News app give you exactly what you want to see. Like, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of my news is like tech. A lot of my news is like I have federal politics and stuff, but it's not like I'm not drowned in it because I have like a lot of other things like science and stuff like that.
So it's a mix of everything.
That's very helpful news.
Yeah.
That's helpful news. I don't believe in being
controlled.
I don't believe in being controlled, of course, and I don't believe in like consuming the news through television. It's very dangerous.
I don't watch it, dude. I can't watch the news. I can't.
They're so fake. They're like, this just in. Why do you talk like that? You know, like, wait, are you a robot? Like, is this 1956?
Yeah.
Why are you talking like that? Yeah,
they're still
in the suits. Yeah. They have Joe Beck hair. They're like, Mr. President,
makeup on.
What you did today was extremely wrong. You know, it's like nobody talks like that. And you know what? YouTube is changing everything. You know,
in what sense?
Because we now know what real people are like. So when you watch a lot of YouTube and you see real people constantly, and you watch something like public TV, you realize how fake and weird it is.
And how scripted it is.
Yeah, yeah, and the commercials and how they start playing. And commercials are really weird too if you pay attention. But we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, that's my stand on politics.
I'm telling you,
I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it in 2019.
But 2016, Brian was all over it.
2016, Brian was.
Like, when were you like the most? Like, when were you like the most inside of politics? Like, balls deep in politics. Like, yo, like
around. It was like 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Obama.
Yeah, it was like at the end of George W. Bush, at the beginning of Obama. I was really into that election. Super. Of course, I was pro Obama. I voted for Obama too.
Twice?
No, once. I wasn't old enough in 2008. Okay. I voted for him in 2012, and don't regret it at all.
We're happy about your vote. See, but that's the thing, though. I feel
but
like...
I didn't take part in the 2016 election. I did not, because I'm not going to vote for the lesser of two evils.
But see, there's the thing, and then there's that what you just said and what I just said triggers people like, oh, they don't vote, their opinion is not valuable. Like, what do you mean? Like, how are you gonna say?
Or
that
how you're ruining it by not voting?
Yeah.
So like, the other guy's gonna win. It's like, how did you know I was gonna vote for your guy anyway, exactly. Or girl, whatever? Like, you know, come on.
And that's my thing. It's like, and that's what annoys me from talking about this subject, and I don't ever talk about it. I'm only talking about it right now, right here.
Right. Because there's nobody else around to get triggered.
Exactly. I can hear you talk about politics, like how you say, you know, you've seen people and you deal with people that like blame politics for their mishaps in life.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's so annoying. I mean,
and how politics drives people's lives. It's like, it's not that serious unless if you're in Congress and you're in the Senate or you're in the House of Representatives.
Well, that's why we have people to sort of do it for us.
Exactly.
Like, that's why we have a representative democracy.
And I know people are gonna like look down and be like, "Oh, well, you never voted. How are you?" Like, I'm not.
You have those people who are like, "Oh, if you don't vote, you don't get to talk."
Yeah. What do you mean?
Come on. Yeah. You know.
I'm just not consumed by it.
I think it was.
I'm not afraid to say it. Like, oh, well, it's your right as an American to vote. What? No, I always hear this. Oh, what if we lived in communist Russia or like North Korea?
We don't.
And
we don't.
This is why me and him are friends.
Yeah.
He knows what I'm thinking. We don't. I'm not in there. And if I was, I'll tell you what. I'll do everything to get out of that country and find somewhere else, get a citizenship, and just do, like, people, like, so settled with, oh, my God,
unless
this
you're
is,
in
like...
North Korea, good luck.
Well, dude, I still find a way, dude. I
jump
on the raft.
If I were in North Korea, like, I would just... Because I know I'm going to die anyway. I would just, like... I would have this coup.
I'm not laughing at people.
I would have this coup.
You know how YouTube's all sensitive now?
We would just overthrow. Yeah, and that's the thing about politics. YouTube demonetizes you, and they take down videos because of it.
Really?
Yeah. So
YouTube don't take this down, dude. You're talking to a guy who doesn't vote, and you're talking to a guy who. What's your stance in politics? I'm not Republican, and I'm not Democrat. I don't.
Neither am I.
What are you, liberal?
I'm nothing.
Mm.
I'm Brian.
Okay.
Brian. And you know they might call me a swing voter, but I'm.
But my thing is, how can you put a?
Here's what I believe in.
Go ahead.
I'll lay it out, and that's why I guess I leaned libertarian. But I don't know. I don't really know anymore because libertarian has some clowns in there. I don't really want them to represent me. I believe in freedom, right? I believe in things like free healthcare, universal healthcare.
America.
I believe in. I don't believe in free college because college is a old idea. College doesn't work in the 21st century.
I think
paying for college makes no sense.
In the last 5 years, college has been so demeaned down. Yeah. So it has a negative outlook now, because you see people we're in this information age that you really don't need college.
Yeah, just go on YouTube or type something in. There's a bunch of courses on whatever you need to learn. Now, if you're going to be a doctor or something, fine, go to school or whatever. Yeah. I'm not saying everyone should not go to school.
But the majority,
and if you really want to, go ahead. Knock yourself out.
Yeah,
no one cares.
Being dead until you're.
No one cares. 20. No one cares.
Go to full time. Be in debt $120,000 by the time you get out, and then pay it off in the next 15 years.
But anyway, another thing.
Still make the same amount of money that I'm making.
I'm anti-war, so I just want to make that clear. I'm anti-war. Now I do understand the country needs to defend itself and to have a strong military, but I'm anti-war. If we can, how come?
No, I said okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, are you serious? How come?
No, trust me, dude. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm anti-war.
We're at the age where, if God forbid there was a draft, we would probably be called upon duty.
We would be.
And
if there was this giant war, I'd probably just join the army anyway.
Would you?
Yeah.
I'd go back to Colombia now. I'm on a plane ticket.
We're at war with Colombia.
I have to pick sides. I'm going back to. No.
I'm like, Rodrigo, I don't think they're gonna win. I just have this aching suspicion.
I go to Canada. I'm just like, you guys.
Are you kidding? If we were to go to war with Colombia, I don't know how their politics work, but I bet it'd be like Russia teams up with Colombia, and then it'd be like the United States against Russia kind of thing. But
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd
be cool. That'd be awful.
That'd be like my country, but obviously I would support them. I have dual citizenship,
and it's
so
out.
I can choose. But no, obviously nobody wants war, dude. I mean, war is war.
But believe it or not, people do want war. Like Dick Cheney loves war.
Because it makes them money.
Yeah, exactly.
But ask Dick Cheney at the age of 12 and 13, hey, what do you want to do when you get older? I'm sure he's not like...
My daddy said I want to do war. Probably.
That accent, dude. It probably was.
I really want to see that Christian Bale movie, Vice.
Oh, yeah,
he plays
Vice?
Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
I hate Dick Cheney.
Hey.
Dick Cheney sucks.
I don't know, man. I mean,
he sucks. He's
tough.
Worse than Donald Trump. Dick Cheney is the worst. I'm glad he's not in politics anymore.
But here's my thing, though. How I just don't understand. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on why I don't vote. I cannot agree on all the topics with one person.
And they always say,
I can't say I'm Republican. I can't say I'm Democrat because it's sometimes I look at what these people are pushing for. I'm like, I like 2 things from this person. Mm-hmm. I like 3 things from this person. And even in the liberal side, I'm like, I like a few things that they like.
But then they go too far.
Yeah,
there's some stuff where it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Dude.
And I'm just like, how can I...
free college?
Yeah.
Free college, dude.
Should have had it back in my day.
No. I mean, free college is the stupidest idea because...
Why do you think that?
Dude, everyone's going to college now.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Which makes an associate's degree completely worthless.
Mm.
What do you think's going to happen when literally everyone goes to college? Now you're going to need a master's degree to get a job. It's ridiculous, and it's you don't need college is an outdated idea, and I don't think we should be pouring money into that. If you're going to pour money into something, it should be like a universal basic income or healthcare, something that's actually helpful, you know? I don't think the United States should be paying for college, like, you know.
That's a strong statement.
Now, the U.S. does pay for college in terms of grants and, right?
That's thankfully.
Student loans.
Thankfully, that's how I made it through school.
That's different.
Like, I walked away graduating.
But it's not. But you still have to apply to school and get accepted. There's a process.
Of course, I mean, yeah.
It's not like everyone gets to go to school.
No.
You know, even like for example, if the United States government were to pay for everyone's college, which I mean technically is what we have now, kind of. A lot of people can go to college because of the government, but they're doing government student loans. It's different. You have to pay that back at the end of the day. What was I saying?
I don't know.
I'm having a Rick Perry moment. You can put the Rick Perry video in this.
Because, like I said, YouTube has been...
No, you can put it in there. Trust me, no one cares.
They're not watching 40 minutes in.
As long as you're not monetizing the video, it should be fine.
I can't. Let's not talk about that.
All videos are monetized.
I know. Just so a heads up, we're in March. This video is going to come out in July. But on Sunday, that first Sunday of July... Our last episode is going to be about YouTube, and that's where, you know, we're looking forward. Even though, you know, people don't understand the time zones of these, like how it's coming out. You would just see. But I don't want to get into YouTube, but I do want to get into, like, the whole politic thing. And about...
Is there anything else about politics?
I don't... Like, no. Like, I think it's just a boring... Like, people who take it serious...
I think the biggest thing we could have talked about was what's going on now.
Okay. What else can we touch?
We already kind of did. It's so toxic, you know?
You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, we could. How long has this been going?
I think about a good. Let's take a look.
35.
All right. So I think the last 5. I think
wrap it up.
But yes, kids, wrap it up. But no.
I don't get it.
Awkward silence.
I don't know. I don't get it.
You were a big conveyor. And, like, trying to explain to yourself. And you, like, we both believe in crazy goals, big goals. And you would always say, I am going to be president. I am going to be like John F. Kennedy. I am, minus the killing, I am going to be, like, that person. Like, I want to be that young. And, like, so now, 2019, I want to ask you that question. I want to end it, you know, the last couple minutes, whatever time you want to express it. However long you want to express it. But do you still have that goal? And if so, when... How?
When?
And what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to run?
Year will be 2045. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know when, but...
No, but let's start with the main question. Like, do you still see yourself as a politician,
you know,
president?
Funny thing about that is that these past couple years have turned me off from it, right? To the point where I question myself, like, is this something I really want to do? You know? But I think at the end of the day, like, that's the reason I'm alive, like, you know? And I think no matter what I say, I think no matter what I say now, I think it will happen, you know?
Wait, explain, like, get a little bit
I'm being all cryptic.
Yeah, like...
What was your question?
You said that it's been all your life. What do you mean?
It's something I've thought about since 9 years old.
That you wanted to be president?
Yeah. Not that I wanted to be, just that I see it happening.
But you don't know how you get there.
I don't know how I get there. And there's a lot of people.
This will be crazy.
There's a lot of people that have talked to me and they're like, "Whoa, what are you doing now? You know, that's gonna get you there." And I'm like, I don't know. You know, Donald Trump is proof that.
No, I think I think his on him. Let's just
he's wanted it since the 80s.
Yes.
Let's just get that.
But on top of that, I think what drove him and what boiled his blood inside was when they invited him to that one dinner and they made it like a comedy roast towards him. Everybody laughed and said, "Yo, you ain't never gonna be," and even Obama was like, "You're never gonna be president." And then a couple years later, you eat. Do you know how, like, I'm a person who believes in, like, proving people wrong. I know. And this gets me so hyped because this is nothing, sorry to cut you off, but there's nothing, but there is nothing more that I like as a human being.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. I mean, I respect him in that sense where.
I want to touch on this. Because me and you feel the same way.
And okay, let me get myself
Go ahead.
off. But that just like triggered me.
Thumbnail?
That triggered me in the sense where it's like I respect him in that sense that he was like, you know what? I don't care what people say. Oh, he ran because Russia was behind him, or he ran because no. The fact that man ran, I'm sure that day, that car ride back home, whoever he was with said, F everybody in that room. I'm going to make everybody eat their own words, and I'm going to prove them I can be president. Yep. And when he did it, and he had to shake Obama's hand at the White House, and I looked at that, and even though he left his wife back there, he didn't care. His mind must have been so much like, look at him like, what'd you say 2 years ago? That I wasn't going to be what I am right now?
The inauguration.
Yeah. He could have been like under his breath, fuck you. And like whatever,
I know, man.
And that to me, I don't care who he is. I just respect that as a human being because I'm a big 100%. Conveyor and do what you mean, and say what you do, and prove what you want to.
It's hard because I'm going to tell you, this is what's happening in 2019.
God, I'm fucking amped right now.
It's hard because, I haven't sort of been able to express how much I like him. Because it's so toxic. But
that's the thing though. People turn you off.
Families could be broken up.
People turn you off.
Friendships could be ended.
Yeah.
Like that's how bad it is in 2019. But let me tell you, I like him for the exact same reason. It's not the policies or anything like that. But I admire someone who defies all odds, and you have a whole country, a whole world saying how ridiculous it is that you're going to be president of the United States, and you make them eat their words. Yeah. And I think that is the most boss thing that anybody can do.
You're like
he's boss. He's boss. Yeah. He's awesome. And
as a man, for me,
I look up to him as motivation.
Yeah.
He's somebody I look up to as motivation. And that's gonna sound bad because whatever might come out.
They'll try to take it out of context.
He might be a terrible person, and they're gonna take this out of context. But anyone with ambition like that, or somebody who believes in themselves,
and at that age,
like Kanye, for example,
70, dude.
Kanye West, for example, people could say what they want about him. I like Kanye West because no matter what people say about him, he believes in himself, and he had to be his own number one fan. Yeah. Because nobody else believes in him,
Dude, that's my whole mentality with this channel. That's the whole reason why.
You gotta be your number one fan.
Here's a portrait. I'm just throwing paint, and until something lands and I hit that thing, I can look at everybody who said, "Oh, you ain't gonna be a YouTuber. Oh, you're not gonna be the biggest person in Chicago. Oh, you're not gonna be this. You're not gonna." And then when I do it, dude, I love people. A year ago, "Oh, you're not gonna move on your own." Yeah. Where am I right now? Living in my fucking
house. As if you're never gonna move out. That's
but
you're just gonna stay in the same.
But there's people out there with that mentality.
There are.
Get frozen, and those are the same people that say, "Oh, whoever's in office, it doesn't matter." Mm-hmm. Oh, they're the reason I'm doing better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what drives.
It's all a giant conspiracy.
Yeah, that's what drives me crazy.
The Bilderbergs and the Illuminati's holding me back.
Drives me crazy. That's why I don't fucking vote. And I'll probably never vote a day in my life, and that's a fact.
I totally agree.
I'm not gonna vote in 2020. I don't vote for my local. First of all, I hate all these commercials when they. I try to not watch TV. They still come up. You know where they come up now? On YouTube.
Yeah, Instagram.
It's annoying.
Instagram.
I'm trying to watch. Oh, I don't. I'm not on Instagram, but I go on YouTube. JB. I'm like, yo. I thought I was gonna avoid this when I stopped watching TV.
No.
They're still popping up. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
It's on YouTube too.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I see him. That's how I only know
crazy,
who the names are. That's how I only know who JB is.
Mm-hmm. You gotta pay for that YouTube Premium subscription.
I watch those 5 seconds and I'll skip that. Be like skip, and then the ones that are 10 seconds. Oh my god! Seriously, bro. Like,
Christ,
God.
I have a YouTube Premium trial.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna continue paying for it.
No, but I don't know that last 10 minutes.
I'm glad we ended it that way.
Yeah.
Because I think.
So, but you didn't answer. Do you still see yourself running?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know when. It'll probably be when I'm really old, to be honest.
So this could be a future dude. If I did a series with the future president, they try to come back to these videos and like take out. Well, when he was 20, whatever you are, when he was this age, he was saying that Trump was his idol. Yo, like I could see like headlines trying to be on. It's like, yo, relax. Yeah. Life isn't that serious.
We admire people for different reasons.
Yeah, all I ask for, if that does become true, all I want and I remember I said this in the podcast all the time, and I still want to do it because I want to make this happen. If you are up there in inauguration date, and you're up there, I don't care how many people show up to you. I don't care if it's 5, 10. I hope you don't Photoshop it. But I hope I'm up top on those. Just have like a white, like have the
you're one of the special guests.
Yeah, just have the bulletproof thing right there where I am. You know, just so in case people start trying to take shots. But just have me up there, dude. Please, like that.
Try to take shots.
I don't know, people might.
I'm like, the Illuminati's real. Aliens, I saw them with my own eyes.
That's a good Alex
That's the
Jones.
speech.
That's a good Alex Jones senator. No, but I would do that. That's all I ask. If it does happen, you're 25. If it happens in 20 years from now, I hope we're still in connection. And you're like, hey, I would like
26.
26. Let's say in 20 years, dude. I mean, you can be president at 45. Is the earliest?
35.
Oh damn!
Believe it or not, we've never had a president that young though.
No, but people won't trust it.
Yeah.
But we are in a generation where I think us would probably avoid somebody younger and. Because, I mean, yeah, sure, the older you are, the wiser you are, but, like, how old is how wise, you know?
Yeah,
at one point,
Obama was wise and he was young.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah.
He was in the 40s, so.
Smart man.
I hope so, man. I hope this is a
And I admire
president.
him, too.
Yeah.
You know, I still do. He defied odds.
Yeah,
He's
for
pretty
sure.
cool.
And he's
cool
from
guy.
Chicago.
Yeah.
So, for him and us, and that's the way we're going to end this. I'm going to go grab what I said I was going to end it to end this video. But you're going to see a cut right now, but that's because I'm going to go get
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to show
memorabilia. Yeah.
Let me take off the mic.
What? Oh, you kept that?
Dude!
Oh, that's cool.
This one.
I actually have that.
For real?
Yeah, I
let's
believe
show
I
the
have
people.
that.
Tuesday,
yours?
January 20th, a day before my birthday. It was 2009, and I don't know, dude. This is how I wanted my yearbook to be. I want to steal that year.
Yeah.
Was never able to do it. Mr. Peterson.
Dude, you know how many people bought copies of that newspaper?
Dude, I remember
My parents bought like 4.
This?
Yeah.
Dude,
I think it was that same one. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I was going to high school. I don't know why. I paid for it when there used to be like the paper things by the buses.
That's crazy.
Dude, I paid for it. I grabbed it. I put it in my backpack.
Yeah.
And since that day, I never
awesome,
even
dude.
read it, dude. I didn't even go
10
through
years old.
Oh yeah.
This is 10 years old.
Damn. Look at you. And then I had to do it again when I was a little bit older. But
You see this guy? I had a poster on my wall. Yeah,
Show the people,
it.
dude.
Yeah, what the heck?
February.
It's history, dude.
It's February 20th, 2000. So 8 years later?
Yeah.
No, 9 years. No, 8 years.
I don't know. I can't do math.
Yeah, it's
8 years later.
Dude, I think this should be the thumbnail.
This is awesome, dude. I can't believe you have this.
It's a little rip, which
I have it. I think it's like under my bed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I didn't even realize it was 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a wrap, guys. Mic check 1 2 1 2. We out. Thank you, Brian. Shout out Tony Robbins. Yo, great.
Epic.
Well,
why am I? What is that though? That's not Chef Boyardee.
I made it myself. No, but Chef Boyardee. I'm the boy, and it's RD Rodrigo.
Ah.
Play on